Hello, everybody. This is Grace with Grace on a Journey Channelings. Welcome to all my fellow travelers. Thanks for coming back. I think today's topic is going to be interesting because it's going to be very spontaneous. I say this because the inspiration I got to start this podcast and the spread that I have before me, along with you, I'm going to see how they link. Meaning sometimes I have a topic and I check out the spread and I'm like, well, I guess it's relating this way and that way. I think today's going to be a lot more challenging, but I am assured that the messages will come out. These are channeled messages, and I trust in my guides and my angels in the Most High. And if I'm called to share with you, is because something needs to come out. But one of the things I heard that inspired me was, until you do right by me. And those of you that watch cinema and sometimes on repeat, like if you enjoyed something, you may have watched it once or twice, sometimes more than that, would recall that line came from The Color Purple. It was when Whoopi Goldberg was leaving and he was trying to hold her back. The quote-unquote husband was trying to hold her back and didn't want her to leave. As miserable as he made her life to be, he still didn't want her to leave. It's like, nah, I can't let you go. You have to stay with me in my misery. And I will never forget the scene when she points at him and with an affirmation, okay? She made it clear what's coming. Because in life, everything you do, this is something I've heard family members say many times, you pay for on earth. A lot of people believe that, I have to go to hell first. Those of you that believe in hell. But the truth is, you pay for it on earth. You pay for it either through your hardship, your karma, or your children's children, but you pay for it on earth. And in that statement, it didn't matter what efforts were made. She made up her mind to leave by any means necessary. Now, the song that's coming to me right now is When a Woman's Fed Up. Let me tell you something. That's a time when it is time for you to make peace with the situation. Because when she is fed up, there's nothing you can do, nothing you can say. No, I'm sorry. No, let me explain. No, I didn't mean it. No, it was my childhood. Because I'm going to refrain myself from what I could have said. But she doesn't care anymore. You understand? She doesn't care to the point we could put it all out there. You feel me? I ain't got nothing to hide. Right? Let's do this. Right? That's the mode that you're in. When you're tired, when you're sick, confirmation. When you're disgusted, you understand? Like growing up, I always believed that all it took was divorce papers. That's the illusion I've been in all my life. That all it takes was divorce papers and you could go on your own way and I could go on my own way. Not to say that I even knew divorce was an option that my God would be okay with. See, I grew up programmed into believing that's something you don't do. But as I get older and I witness toxicity in people's lives, mothers killing fathers, fathers killing mothers, children killing parents, I'm realizing sometimes y'all can't all be under the same roof. True story. And so sometimes you have to sign those divorce papers. You have to move on. You have to say you on your own, right? And truth be told, it's justice. See, you can't control anyone but yourself. So you could try to guide, you could try to share, you could try to prevent. But the truth is, if someone wants to learn the hard way, you got to step back. You got to watch it happen. And then you got to protect yourself because I did not send you there. Okay? So I've always been in the mindset that picking up the pieces was never an option, especially when you become a parent. I'm not the type of person that's just going to fall out and say, oh, I just can't take life anymore. Oh, it's just too overwhelming. Oh, I can't do this. I'm not made for this. Nah. See, some of us mothers take that role on as serious. That responsibility is not something we play with. It's not something negotiable. It's not something that's forgiving. We understand we have our children for a certain amount of time under our roof. Then there's a season called Judgment Day, when they read you about how you raised them. And knowing who I am, knowing the experiences I've had, knowing the judgments I've made, knowing the resentments I had, knowing the truth I can't hold back, I know it's very possible that I have a mini me. As truthful as I am, I'm expecting for my child to come at me with the same measurements. To say, you know what? I didn't appreciate that when I was growing up. I didn't like that when you could have done better when I was growing up. And so this is one of the reasons why I wasn't going to allow yesterday's growing pains to interfere with what is called of me today, because I know of Judgment Day. I know when the child becomes an adult, young adult, mature adult, whatever stage of adulthood, disappointment is not always an easy pill to swallow. And this is why I always encourage people, and I'm like, listen, your kids are watching you. Your kids are listening to you. I've been on conversations with the opposite sex on the phone, and I felt certain comments that were made were very inappropriate. And I would make remarks like, your daughter's in the room, or your son is in the room. Mind you, the child could be 8 years old, 10 years old, or whatever, but they're in the room. Oh, she's watching TV, or he's playing a video game. Or just because they're on to something else doesn't mean they go deaf. Just because they have their attention to something else doesn't mean they don't see you. That they don't recognize the patterns. That you are not giving them information to model from. Or judgment upon judgment upon judgment in the new season. When you become the child and they become the parent. Those who know. I know that went over some heads, but those who know. There comes a point when you have experienced enough in life to understand that I better think twice in how I maneuver here, because it's always going to come back. Sometimes, like I said earlier, not necessarily exactly how I gave it out, but sometimes it's even more painful when you're seeing it in your child's life, because you're like, wow, I did that to someone, and this is how they felt. And I'm so sad. I have to see my daughter endure this. I have to see my son endure this, knowing you did it to someone else. Those of you that ever self-reflect have probably had moments where you're experiencing things and you're questioning, I don't deserve this. So why is this a pattern in my life? Why is this happening? And you think about it and you realize, oh yeah, my dad was a womanizer. Oh yeah, my mother never knew what it was to be a virtuous woman. See? And this is why you'll hear me say time and time again, it's all connected. And a lot of people that engage with you in toxic behavior, it is being passed around in this season as karmic behavior. This is what people are in the belief that they are categorized as karmic family, right? There are karmic brothers, karmic sisters, karmic mothers, karmic fathers, karmics of a lower what? Vibration. And so as you awaken and you learn to look within, you learn to check yourself, you learn to do your shadow work, you learn life has to be better than this, so it can be better than this because I can co-create this. You walk in to the change that you want to see in the next man. You look in the mirror and you change yourself. That is the beginning of healing. The beginning of healing is when you could look at yourself and look at ways you can change change yourself, because the only thing you have control over is yourself. As you've heard me share before, there are many things in life you can't control, but there are many things that you can. What are the things that you can? Because those are what you need to target first. Because as you target those things that you can change, those things that you can't will be seen, felt, heard of by others that you cross paths with. And sometimes the only Bible they need is your life. Sometimes the only holy scripture they need is your testimony, is your transformation. See, people are tired of the games that we play. They're tired of do it the way I told you to do it. Just listen. Listen to what I'm telling. Don't do what I'm doing, but just listen to what I'm telling you to do. People are tired of that type of reality. We want to experience what you say to be true. And the first experience has to be something I can see in your life. And this is why you'll hear people say that a good teacher is not someone who's only learned. A good teacher is someone who's been there, done that. They're more trustworthy. They're more believable. They give more hope. They're more inspirational. And so now we don't always want to hear a public speaker. We want to hear a survivor. We want to hear an overcomer. And you will meet these survivors and overcomers as they share with you how they got back to health. There's a journey to come back to spiritual health. There's a journey to come back to mental health. There's a journey to come back to physical health. It's time for you to go within. It's time for you to be brave enough, to be honest enough, to make those changes. To decide today, I can. It just takes 2 words. I can. Can you say it? I can make a difference in my life. Before you can say those 2 words, there will be no movement forward. Those 2 words are required to break those generational circles. Those 2 words are required to get out of those dysfunctional cycles. Can you say it? Can you write it? Can you believe it? In my search for healing, I began to knock on every door. Whatever it was that offered healing caught my attention. And one of the things that was brought to my attention was cinema therapy, where you can watch a movie because you relate to it in some way, and just by watching that movie, you got some healing. I know I mentioned the movie The Color Purple, but because it's so important for me to make my point transparent to you, in order for this information to be useful to you. Another example I have from a movie that I watched that brought healing. I believe it was called Fences, with Denzel Washington. And we're not going to stay too much on that movie in particular because we need to stay on track. But there was a scene that I watched that had nothing to do with me. But everything he dealt with as far as pain, and a parent in particular. And the hurt that was never addressed. And in that moment of watching that scene, every resentment I held, every question I had, every misunderstanding that led me astray was released. That doesn't mean when you find this quote unquote healing that you can mend a relationship with whoever it was that has brought some type of discord or offended you. But the release is enough for it to not have any power over your well-being. So later on, you won't have to be diagnosed, whether it is with depression, whether it is with high blood pressure, whatever it is. When you release it, it no longer has the power to affect your progress. And so whether it is music therapy, knock on that door, okay? Whether it is cinema therapy, knock on that door. Whether it is art therapy, knock on that door. Knock on those doors. If healing was there for me, it's there for you. It won't ask and it won't make statements of who is it until you knock. You have to knock. Then you have to identify yourself. Then you have to be brave enough to come inside, to sit down, to talk about it, to cry, to be vulnerable, to believe I can heal. I'm sure you've heard me say before, it's a choice. You all have a choice. Going around hating on people because you've experienced such and such ordeal in your childhood is not a healthy choice. It's not a choice that's going to make it better. It's not a choice that is going to help you to break those generational curses. Those are the chains that hold you back. Until you break those chains, until you break those generational curses, you will be held back. Can you hear me? I need you not to hear me only in your ears. I need you to hear me in your spirit. Until you break those chains, you will be held back. Not just you, but the child you raised that saw you, and the grandchild that observed your child as they grew up. How many generations down are we going to continue to make excuses? Oh, the reason why I'm this way is because my grandfather, my great-grandfather, who cares? Can I be honest with you? I'm going to be honest and raw with you right now. Nobody cares from what generation this issue, this dysfunction, this curse stems from. I'm going to say it again. You might want to get your tissue paper and release. If this truth is too overwhelming for you to see, nobody cares. So when nobody cares, people, the only one that can care for you is you. Are you worthy enough for someone to care about you? Are you lovable enough to be loved? Those are not answers you have to say out loud. Those are conversations you have to have in your spirit. When you're tired. You see, I've worked with populations in areas of addiction. A lot of them found themselves in the situation because they were court ordered. But one of the things I've noticed in some of the meetings is slogans that were mentioned. One of them being, recovery comes when you reach your lowest low. Confirmation. Something just fell down. You gotta reach your lowest low. You gotta reach to the point where nobody's gonna help you. Nobody cares. Nobody is gonna take it no more. You understand? When you're cornered, right? Because you got everyone fed up, right? That's exactly where you need to be to pick yourself back up. I've heard someone say once, when you're at your lowest low, there's nowhere else to go but up. And so if you find yourself at the lowest low, victim is what you called yourself, right? I'm going to say it again. Victim is what you called yourself. Listen carefully. Victim is what you called yourself. Today, survivor is what you know you are. You're going to release that victimhood. You're going to release those pity parties. You're going to release those defense mechanisms. And you're going to look at yourself and decide for yourself today, as a survivor, what is the next right thing. And the next right thing begins with action. You decide and you go through with your decision. And what I'm being told to tell you is, some of you are so hurt, so battered, so lost, so hopeless, that the only thing that you can do is heal. Right? We're not going to go as far as achieving goals. We're not going to go as far as upgrading. We're just going to take baby steps towards healing. If you are a victim of domestic abuse, begin healing. Begin researching and finding out ways you can connect with others who were or who are in the midst of fighting back. Confirmation. Whether it is physical abuse, Spiritual abuse. I said spiritual. Can I say spiritual? Spiritual abuse. Because ritualistic abuse is abuse. It's not okay. Mind manipulation is not okay. If it were okay, why is it today in society there are people being arrested because they drugged their partners before they conducted disgusting sexual acts with them? When you give someone a mind-altering substance, it is affecting their ability to control their will. It is mind control. It is the equivalent to what you call spell work. Come to me spells, domination spells, say yes spells, whatever crap spells. It's all disgusting. It's all abuse. It's all unethical. And in conversation with an officer, he brought it to my attention that I'm aware of all of these things that you're saying in the communities that we take part of. But the reality is we live in the West. And sometimes your complexion is what determines if anything will ever get done about it. Right? Because certain offenses are predominantly in certain cultures, certain traditions, certain nationalities. And so it takes your voice. And it takes others that you awaken to the fact that this is wrong. This needs to stop. This should not be something that is encouraged. This should not be okay in whatever community. Because when you participate, when you laugh, when you encourage, when you motivate, when you witness, you are part of. I said you are part of. And if you watch the news recently, I'm seeing a pattern of many that are getting arrested for sex trafficking. What is sex trafficking? Why are they getting arrested for sex trafficking? How do you get involved with sex trafficking? What constitutes as sex trafficking? Did you motivate the person? Did you target the person? Is it on record somewhere? Is it in a text message? Is it in an email? Is it on Messenger? Is it in a chat? Were you benefiting from that? Mom, dad, cousin, friend, boss, in-law? It's time the victims speak up. Your healing comes from speaking up. Another thing that I've heard in these meetings is you are as sick as your secrets. If you are a victim of being mind controlled, a victim of being drugged, approached with substances that are laced, you need to talk about it. But before it is brought to the authorities, we need to stand in our communities and share our stories. Share the monstrous behaviors that brother so-and-so did, that deacon so-and-so did, that pastor so-and-so approved of, that prophet is so-and-so signed on of, that congregation benefited from. It's time to speak on it. It's not enough to want a change. It's not enough to expect the change. We have to be the change. And as someone who is guided to point you towards healing, as much as I want to say focus on you and you alone, it's a domino effect. It begins with me. It begins with you. It continues with community. It continues with future generations. It continues with the legacy. It's not okay. And what you don't realize, those of you that thought it was okay, pay attention. Pay attention to your future generations. Every sin that was committed was paid for. There were some of you that today, let me make this clear for those of you who haven't gotten the memo yet. Some of you today are experiencing what you're experiencing because of what your dad did, because of what your granddad did, because of what your great-great-granddad did. Were they pimps? Did they teach you how to be a pimp? Aren't you a pimp? And who's paying for it today? Can someone figure it out? Who's paying for it today? The answer's right in your face. Getting away with it. How? Where? When? As I said, everything you commit, you pay for it right here. And the chains ain't gonna fall off. As you birth new children and new generations, you'll just be carrying them with the chains on until they're old enough and big enough for the chains to get on their ankles and on their wrists. You're co-creating this reality. It's not about the man no more. It's about you who can't be a man. Can I get a witness? It's about you who can't be a man. When you're bestial, you cannot be treated as a man. When you can't accept no is no, you cannot be treated as a man. When you are a rapist, you cannot be treated as a man. When you are a pedophile, you cannot be treated as a man. Debt. It's time to pay your debt. This season will be a wicked season. Because all the debts accrued from generation after generation after generation, you will be witnessing pay up. Okay? Tell your neighbor, pay up. Because you'll be witnessing pay up. Right? As I've shared with you numerous times before, the fruit of the universe is balance. So when it continues to be dark, year after year, after decade, after centuries, okay, we need a balance here. We need to make things right here. We need a change here. Our daughters are tired of crying here. Our babies are tired of being molested here. Those of you that are calling yourselves spiritual practitioners, and live in secret lives, as you lie with people's children. I said as you lie with people's children. And you want to be upheld in a high regard. You want people to respect you. You want people to value your opinion as you downgrade those that live in their truth. Those that's never been as low as you. It's time to pay up. Now, I'm going to continue by attempting to share the spread I have before me, because only God knows if I'll get through this. Because what was said was sent. and delivered. Be that as it may, there was already a spread that was to be shared. So as I said, I'm going to attempt to share the spread I have before me, and we will see if the messages that were sent line up with the cards that were given. The first card here is contradictions, hesitations. Yeah. Contradictions in relation to, you say we one thing, but you're not. You say you God-fearing, you say you quote-unquote Christian / Pharisee, quote-unquote Christian / Pharisee. I said it, quote-unquote Christian / Pharisee, but you ain't. Right? And then there's hesitation when you get uncovered, because you don't know from where to begin without that mask. You don't know how to function without that mask. You don't know how to pretend without you getting everyone's attention off of you as you fabricate lies on one or two. Right? It's about getting the attention off of you. So you got to be on overtime fabricating lies on others that have nothing to do with your lies. Right? Next card is perfect timing. This is the right time to move forward. Yeah. Moving forward is not always easy, but it's part of the journey. And in order for you to move forward, you have to get the debris out of the way. You have to open the roads for all the blockages that were placed before you to keep you stuck in order to prevent the truth from coming out. It's perfect timing. It's perfect timing to say, I can heal. I can speak up. I can stand up. I can defend myself. I can heal. By any means necessary, I will heal. Next card is nutrition. You conduct healing work with your culinary skills. I've worked with the community in areas explaining how to keep your chakras balanced and the necessities to be balanced and how it's all connected and so forth. What's coming to me as I come across this card is increase your fruits and vegetables. Also, I'm being led to say, encourage yourself to eat foods that will help you heal your sacral chakra. Now, God made it so easy by having it all be color coordinated, right? So you know the root is red, the sacral is orange, the solar is yellow, right? The heart is green, and so forth. So my recommendation to you is it to increase your fruit and vegetable intake, especially in areas in relation to your sacral chakra. It is important for you to participate in different therapies to claim back who you were meant to be. I wouldn't only eat to heal my sacral chakra. I would also listen to frequencies, okay? There are also certain spiritual baths to take, okay? And I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't care how you feel. In this day and age that we're living in, it's best for you to go to God and ask God to open your eyes and give you the downloads that you need in order to find certain ingredients that you need to heal yourselves. I say this because there are many wicked people out there. Some listening in right now, right? Sister so-and-so, brother so-and-so, prophet is so-and-so. Yeah, some listening in right now that are agents of the dark. They are not fruits of the universe. There is no balance. It's about conquer, not community. It's about taking you out, right? So those of you that care about your wombs, okay, that are still in childbearing age, okay, that don't want to be under psychic attack, okay, I suggest, okay, it's just a recommendation. You do what you choose. It's your free will. I am very selective in who I allow to be in the department of wellness when it comes to my benefit or those of my loved ones. If God has led you to this or that individual and you know it's God that's speaking to you, by all means, do you, right? But if you are in doubt, I'm hearing if you are in doubt, the answer is no. Not everyone can assist you in such matters due to their karmas, due to their unethical ways, due to the fact that they are fake, due to the fact that they steal, due to the fact that they're not in alignment with being a healer. Okay? Because a lot of you out here who believe that so-and-so's a healer, so-and-so's a healer, I've heard testimonies before where quote-unquote healers confess. They'll send some spell work for you knowing that you're going to come back right here to get healed, so we can put another spell on you. Okay? Am I saying there's no one out there that you can trust? No one out there that's really going to be out there for you, that's really going to help you? I'm not saying that at all. I myself know that I am someone that can heal myself and my loved ones. I'm not volunteering for anything else because God's not asking me to volunteer for anything else. If a situation arises where He wants me to go further than myself and my family, that's what will be, right? But presently, I know how to care for myself and my household, as that is my first ministry. Okay? And you mothers out there, that's something that you should have on your prayer list too, that you can take care of yourself and your household. That you will have the connections that you need, the spiritual connections that you need, that will guide you in the steps that you need to take to keep wellness alive. Okay? Be wary of who you allow. There's something else I'm going to say. God, really? You want me to say all of this? Really? I'm being led to say it. See, a lot of people want to be quote unquote messengers, but they don't understand the charge it comes with. Sometimes you want to say something, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't feel like ruffling any feathers, but sometimes it is what it is. You have to say what is said, right? So I'm being told to tell you, pray about where you get your hair done. You hear me? I'm going to say that again. Pray about where you go get your hair done. Okay? Because you don't want to leave your hair just anywhere. Okay? All right? That goes for you that have female children and those of you that have male children. Now, if God put that on my heart to say, there's a reason why. Those with ears will hear. Next card is as if it or they came from all there is. As if it or they came from all there is. The philosophies and laws involved do it in a big way. Okay. As if they came from all there is. The philosophies and laws involved do it in a big way. And that's associated with the 9th house. That's in relation to higher education, philosophy, publishing, religion. Yeah, when I came from all there is, religion came to me. But travel and law, right? Yeah, the 9th house. The philosophies and laws involved. Okay. I'm going to put this card right here and come back to it because I don't want to pause for too long. But the next card is in association with law because it is Archangel Michael. And he gives protection. As if it or they came from all there is. Okay, we're all connected. The philosophies and laws involved. All right, universal laws do it in a big way. So we're all connected. I have to state what's being given to me, whether it's taken in context of philosophy or law. I'm just a messenger. And so as a messenger, I'm not here to filter anything to people's way of acceptance or if it's being well received or not. Everything is connected. Doing it in a big way, saying it for what it is. It is what it is. Right? Confirmation. Confirmation. Next card, Quest. If I'm seeing a card that says Archangel Michael and then I see Quest, I relate that quest for justice. That's telling me that those of you that have been affected and victimized, and the fact that I see a child on this card, not even adult, is telling me a lot of your inner child is wounded and you are on a quest for healing. Some of you are open to it. Some of you are here in front of a lady that appears to be a sage of some sort and is in the knowledge of the dark and the light, and is here to help, is here to serve. And from this card, I'm also seeing she walked that path. She had her experience. She's just not saying what you want to hear. She's saying what she went through, what she had to go through, how she had to overcome those obstacles, how she had to deal with those blockages. Grace on a Journey. Next card is new ideas, new plans, mental clarity, communication. What's being brought to me right now is one of the reasons why talk therapy is recommended is because we like to suppress things that hurt us. And so as much as when we suppress things, an easy way to do that is to not talk about it. That's why some of us struggle so hard with journaling it, because it makes it more real. It brings it up. But from this card, I'm getting, it's when you do that, that's when you'll have mental clarity. That's when you'll be able to see things for what it is. That's when you'll come closer to success. Healing is success. Victory is success. Victory is also, you want to heal because that would give you the victory. And that is success. Okay? Breakthroughs. Communication. The truth. Vision. Intensity. Sometimes on the path to healing, being intense is part of it. Yeah, it's nice to say politically correct things. It's nice to, not to ruffle feathers. All of that's nice. It's nice to be liked. It's nice to be popular. It's nice to sound nice, right? But the truth is, healing is not always nice. Sometimes healing requires for you to take the debris off the wounds. Sometimes it bleeds a little bit more. Sometimes you got to deal with more alcohol that you need to put on there. Sometimes you got to redo your bandages. You got one bandage today, tomorrow you got to renew the dressing. It's a process. And as much as people want things to be smooth and okay and, easy to hear and easy to swallow and easy to move on and no feelings get hurt and everyone sings Kumbaya, that's not the route that is demanded for. I just deliver the messages. The next card is good news. You follow your heart. See? As I said, there are times I want to, not get too deep, because I'm quite aware that a lot of people can't get deep, Some people are more on the shallow side. I live in deep. I've always been deep. I'm always going to be deep. And this is why when I do connect, I connect on a deep level. I invite you to see the human in me, because I don't want anything less but the human in you. And that comes with your story. That's not always well received by those who are shallow, by those that are afraid of their truth. By those that wallow in their addictions in order to avoid their reflections. like-minded people. There's a reason why that phrase was coined. We're not all like-minded. But it would be nice to live in a world where people don't have to be like-minded, but we can accept people's differences. Because to be quite frank with you, I don't care. Can I just be real with y'all? Because that's the only way I know. I just don't care about the likes or dislikes about the people that don't matter. And when I say that, I don't mean as if you don't matter to God. But if you're not in my circle, people, you're just not in my circle. You understand? You're just not. I care for you in the sense of I want to give you a chance to hear what could bring you from point A to point B. But I don't need to know every detail about your life, who you're talking to, you know, how long you've been talking to, how you're making money, where you're going shopping. I leave that for the shallow. And we need to reach a point, those of us that are on the road to healing, to stop seeking validation, because you'll never find healing until you do. I do believe in talking to children and teaching them about life and lessons, because a lot of my lessons I've learned since I was a little girl. It was when I was in the 2nd grade, I remember sharing with a parent that I don't think this person likes me. And at that tender age, I was told, listen, you'll never be in a world where everyone likes you. I wasn't told, yeah, she does like you. Everyone likes you. Everyone's happy. Everyone wants to be your friend. No. She was honest. She said what equipped me until today. You'll never be in a world where everyone likes you, everyone's happy, everyone wants to be like you, everyone wants to dress like you, everyone wants to party like you, everyone wants to take drugs like you. No! Can you come back to earth? And this is why I can't deny mental illness is real, you know? Because when I see senior citizens in that type of mentality, I realize, wow, it's so easy to recognize the unhealed. Because, as I've shared earlier, there is need for mental healing, spiritual healing, physical healing, right? Emotional healing. The list goes on. You just have to start where the crisis is. That's what I'm being told right now. Because we all have areas in all those compartments that we need to heal. But you need to start where the crisis is. That's what needs your attention the most. So if you are in a state where you are battling with spiritual warfare, such as myself, my recommendation to you is to get on top of how to protect yourself. And straight after that, close those doors. No new friends. And right after that, only the necessary need to stay. And right after that, you're on a trial basis. Soon as you come out of order, you're out the picture too. Because you have to protect your energy. And it's all connected. If I have you and you're a thorn in my side, you're going to interfere with my healing. So your feelings can't be the priority right now. Survival of what? The fittest. And we get fit by exercising self-care. Self-care is not only towards self. It's towards the extensions of you, your children. Self-care is also towards your team members, those that help you thrive. Who is on your team? After you take care of you, you need to take care of them. As you protect you, you need to protect them. And this is something that's being brought to your attention as well. Those of you that are called and that are working with the public at some capacity, you're being called to be very precise in being professional when dealing in a professional setting, and being personal when dealing in a personal setting. What does that mean? Some people don't like you, okay? Don't let me burst your bubble, but let me share some reality. Some people don't like you. Therefore, try to avoid information regarding your personal life, regarding your relationships, regarding your children, regarding anything that is not subject related, unless it is specifically in connection with your teaching that is present day, present moment, or past that you've recovered from. Your plans should be your plans. Your dreams should be your dreams. Because we're surrounded by those who are on opposite teams. And especially in this season, you'll recognize many that will want to, come in pretense. Can we make up? Can I say I'm sorry? Can we be friends? To spy. To take back the information from you to bring to the spellcasters who have nothing but crumbs. Right? And from my experience, it could even be a husband that's taking back the information to the spellcasters. It could even be a husband that's paying spellcasters, that's paying witches and warlocks and priests and priestesses and so forth to take you down. Sometimes it's people in your quote unquote circle. Shall I dare say circle? Was there ever a circle? Question. But The point is, trust doesn't come after God today for me. You understand? God has to be your filter, okay? And I'm hoping that a lot of you understands why that would be the best approach for you in this season, and that you may want to consider to follow that path. All right? But I understand we all have choices, and you need to do what you choose to do. And funny enough, the next card is be yourself. Okay? Be yourself. This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis of your personal power. Being myself today is taking care of me. Being myself today is saying yes when I want to say yes and no when I want to say no. Being myself today is always making sure that I'm in security. Being myself in today is sharing at a need to be basis. Being myself today is only allowing you to cross me one time. Right? One time. Right? And like I've seen it all over social media, if I cut you off, it's because you gave me the scissors. All right? That's being myself. That's not looking to be popular. That's not looking to be accepted. That's not looking to be cool. It's being myself. Until you heal, it will be very difficult to be yourself. So those of you that want to say, but I want to be myself, understand you need to heal before you can make that jump. All right? Something else I'm being led to say is that healing is not going to be one time, because you will experience triggers in life. So as much as you thought you've healed someone or something or a season, understand things may come up that may cause you to be triggered, and you may be in resentment mode for a minute or two. But at the same time, you're being told to still have compassion towards yourself, still have understanding towards yourself, still be sensitive towards yourself, and still be in the knowledge that you are a work in progress this entire journey. So even as you are experiencing moments of recalibration, so to speak, you're right where you need to be. Okay? Don't beat yourself up about it. I've been in situations where I felt I'm past that. I'm beyond that. And I can watch a movie or see a commercial or hear a song and boom, it comes back to me. Right? When I watch films where women have been giving mild mind-altering substances, it automatically changes my mood. I'm even stuttering. Because I feel everyone who participates in such activities should be dealt with in ways that they can't recover. You feel me? Does that mean I'm going to let that affect me for the rest of my days and be miserable and not laugh, not play, not be in love? Not at all. I can't let them win. What I can do is make it my business to share with others how to reclaim their life, how to share their stories until something is done. Because what's wrong is wrong. Because if you wouldn't want someone to do that to your daughter, you shouldn't do it to someone else's daughter. In the name of magic or in the name of desperation. Wow, God, you want me to go there? There's something I'm being called to say. Some people won't be ready to hear. But there is a case surrounding sex trafficking that involves an older woman who had failing health. Did I say had? Did I say had? Did I dare say had? Still has. Had it for a while now, but still has, right? And the goal was to sex traffic someone. And kill someone. You see, this older woman needs that younger woman's organs. She just thought I didn't know. And he's shocked that I know. So yeah, we can exploit her and then we can kill her and then I can use those organs. F her. And even in that same breath, had the audacity to conduct smearing campaigns stating that I'm breaking up your household, stating I'm stealing your money, stating I'm on drugs, stating I did what you did for a living. When your goal was to kill me all along. Confirmation. God says, you dare ask me for mercy? I said, God says, you dare ask me for mercy? Jezebel and Judas, you wanted to see me go down. You didn't only want to exploit me in one way. You wanted to exploit me in every way. God has revealed it all in detail, as gruesome as it is. And even with all of that, I have overcome your darkness, and still I rise. Thank God Almighty. Confirmation. You're not only an addict, a thief, a gigolo, a prostitute. You're a killer. And the lives of those babies that you've killed, God saw that too. The fact that you attempted to sacrifice not only me, but my womb. What you felt you was doing in the dark, God saw that too. I'm also being told that I will see you make that payment. You could pick up your jaws now. You and your circle of serpents can pick up your jaws now. Now, there's something very crucial that I know about you. That will come out in perfect timing. The rabbit hole goes deep. If people ever know how disgusting you are, they'll run away from you like lepers. God, clear my energy. I'm disgusted. Cleanse this energy. It stinks. See? A lot of you people don't realize that a nice dress, a tie, some shoes, a hat, a car, a home does not make a human being. A human being has a heart. The next card is heart desires. A human being has a heart. Some in your circles have no heart. They don't care if you have children. They don't care if you're the daughter of so-and-so. They don't care what plans God had for you. They're just dressed up serpents that sit next to you, that you allow to touch you. Sometimes you can't rub it off. Heart's desires. The angels are supporting, guiding, and protecting you as your dreams become a reality. What are my dreams? Dare I tell you? No justice, no peace. That's just a hint. When you steal from someone, you rape someone, you defame their character, you conduct black magic on her, you volunteer to use her as a target for practicing magic for you and your coven. You poison her repetitively. Confirmation. I heard that. You poison her repetitively. You know you have no good intention for her. You lie on her. And then she prophesizes and she tells you what your future will be. You say she's crazy, right? You make her a laughingstock. And then you realize, as time goes by, everything she said is coming into play. How is that possible? I haven't seen her since 2019. How did she know what was going to happen in 2020, in 2021, in 2022? And now we're entering 2023. How did she know? I got 2 words for you. But God. God allowed everything to unfold the way it did because He was there with me throughout the whole process. Because I had to endure what I endured to become the teacher I am today. Because I have a heart that cares for the hearts of those that's been heartbroken. Confirmation. Because I've had my heart broken. I've had someone. Did I say someone? I've had many who've tried to kill me, who've tried to poison me, who abused me, who defamed me, who stole from me. And so I can't just only teach on it, because I experienced it. Because that level of understanding I have is what was required to bring the intensity in my delivery. And this is why God chose me. And this is why you'll never be nothing but a wannabe. Next card. The need for control. An obsession with a power struggle. Next card, children. That's exactly what it's like when people lack maturity. They act like children. They don't see the whole picture. They don't understand God's plan. They don't understand that only God can determine one's destiny. Your God complex cannot overpower what God has for me. And this is why you will stay on your knees. Because I have the keys. Those with ears will hear, and those with eyes will see. Next card is wisdom. Wisdom. Do you have any? Do you have any? You see, wisdom is knowing when you've gone so far that no matter the consequence, no matter the plea, it will never be. Nah. Not after all those crimes committed against me. Never that. I'm tired of saying I'm disgusted. I'm tired of being called on my phone when I've changed my number. I'm tired of your stupid text messages. I'm tired of your mental illness, your untreated mental illness. I'm tired of your Pharisee natures. I'm tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of people that are in church calling themselves prophets, calling themselves pastors that want to live polygamous lifestyles with quote unquote sisters of the church because they have diseases that they don't want to die alone from. Yo! God, you coming in for real today. Woo! What a life. See, sometimes you plan something for somebody else. Child, how'd you ever fit in them shoes with them big feet? Huh? How'd you do that? A little birdie told me. Thank goodness it's not me. Moving right along. Hastiness, speed, progress, movement, action, rushing, exciting times, travel, freedom, holiday, romances, taking off. Can I get an amen? Yes, it's part of healing. Humor is part of healing. All right? That's another way to get there. We've covered cinema therapy, art therapy, music therapy. Now there's comedy. Okay? Because we going to cover therapy until we heal. Right? The next card is your life purpose involves helping and teaching. I agree. And some of you out there are called to be spiritual teachers as well. And as you teach, as you're witnessing, there will be times you will self-disclose. There will be times jaws drop. There will be times people are set free. And all it takes is being in your truth and accepting victory. Okay? Next card is body care. Make sure you take care of your body. Exercise. Take your baths. Use your oils. Get your massages. See your chiropractors. Enjoy your love lives. Body care. Next card is facade. Facade is what those who cannot arrive at healing do. Right? They pretend. They pretend until they no longer can because they've reached their lowest low. Facade. Many have been living a facade for a long time now. And the time has expired. Funny enough, next card is Hierophant. Traditional institutions. Values. Education. Knowledge. Beliefs. Following that, strength and support. A warm partnership. We all need strength and support on our journey to healing. We all need God on our journey to healing. I choose which traditions I embrace and how I do it. I love that affirmation. Stop letting others control you, others that are lost, especially. I heard once before, on your deathbed, you never think about, oh, I wish I did what she said, or I wish I did what he said. You think about, I wish I did what I wanted. Right? And so this is why it's high time you honor yourself to the point where your opinion matters. Your preference matters. Your belief matters. Your value matters. Stop allowing others to devalue you, to diminish you, to dehumanize you, to make you think what you think is not important. How you see things is the wrong way. What you heard is not that. You're just oversensitive. This is what those manipulators do as they abuse you. And this is why healing is required years after your extent of time with them, because they are so corrupt. Right? Corrupt. So as you leave, run and never look back. Right? That's if you want to live. Next card is let go. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. And that's what these people with these God complexes fail to realize. It's like they want to control, they want to mind manipulate, they want to erase your memory, they want you to see things their way, they want you to believe in their lies, and this is why they always fail. Because they need to release the need to control in order to attract desires if they are in alignment with God's will. Let's not forget that. Because your desires are irrelevant. In fact, you are irrelevant in the presence of the Most High. Who are you to correct him, to redirect him, to overpower him? Who are you? What are you? Who told you that you could do that? Mental illness. I'm hearing mental illness again. Moving along. Mental illness. Creative expression. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. Speak, people. Share your stories. Paint. Dance. Feel. Create. That's all on the journey to healing. I'm hearing creativity a lot in a lot of these cards, regardless if they use that word in particular or not. But it suggests being creative, like preparing your meals in a way. You know, that's one of the cards we came across. Let's do our lesson reviews. Being yourself, right? That usually takes the approach of being unique, not being a follower, being creative. Creative is very much part of the journey. Your heart's desires, okay? Discovering what it is that you want. It requires creativity to arrive at that depth in your soul. I'm glad I came across this. I came back to this card because one thing I've learned when it comes to relating to my angels is they make you get it out. There are times you don't want to talk about it no more. You want to forget about it. You want to move on. You want to pretend it never happened. But they remind you, in order for you to move forward, you have to heal. So they will bring it up again and again and again and again until you release it at in whatever way you choose creatively. Whether it is prayer, whether it is journaling, whether it is something you're painting, but you will notice, those of you that are in connection, because I'll always say you already are contact. You all have angels, whether you see them or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you subscribe or not. You all have angels. But some of us have the, how shall I put this? Arrived at a level that we are in routine connection, and some even collaboration with their angels. And those of you who are, you will know that majority of that journey, majority of the time that you spend with them will be times for you to express yourself, because they're not there to live your life for you. You are to live your life. They are here to assist you. They are here to guide you to see things that you may be overlooking. Right? So your input is majority of the way. They're not here to tell you turn right, turn left, go up, go down. They're here to ask, what do you want? Okay, this is how we can get there. This is what we need to do. What approach, what are the steps that you're going to take in order for us to achieve this or achieve that? And I can't really make you understand. This is something, if you choose to, pay attention to what I'm saying. If you choose to, you will experience. Some of you won't choose to because some of you don't believe, and that's all right. You're right where you need to be, doing the thing that you need to be doing. Okay? I am not pushing on my beliefs on anyone, and I totally believe in freedom when it comes to your belief system. And this is why I do not allow, I do not play with, and I do not, it's not even negotiable of anyone who comes at me with some type of direction as to what I need to believe, how I need to believe, and how I need to put it on application, because we have several seats you can have a seat in. You understand? We don't subscribe to that, because I respect your freedom, and this is one of the reasons why I myself cannot have communion or cannot have connection or assembly with people that have no concept of respect when it comes to boundaries. Right. I've never been one that can be controlled, truth be told. And being the free spirit that I am, it's a battle loss. Whether you continue with your black magic, whether you continue with your smearing campaigns, whether you continue with whatever approach that you choose to fail at next, it's not going to work. Next card is dedication to achieve. That's right. To achieve my freedom. To maintain my freedom. Focusing on resulting from the rules imposed by, exactly, by the demons that they are, that feel that they can control in order to benefit, in order to oppress, in order to manipulate. No. That was matrix thinking. Next card is ideas and inspiration. My ideas are all influenced by creativity, due to the inspiration of freedom. See? And this is what I was sharing earlier. Sometimes we don't understand why we go through what we go through. But those ups and downs, those tsunamis, earthquakes, whatever you choose to call them, had to take place in order to get you in the mindset of no turning back. Because when you join in and join the team, you have to be fully committed. There's no way out. All toxicity has to stay exactly where it is. No way to go back and come and make U-turns. and enjoy the protections and the guidance and the wisdom and sit and eat with those that are on the opposing team. Either you're in or you're out. And this is why it is so grueling to feel and arrive at being worthy of. And this is why only you can be you, and only you can fulfill your calling. Because no one is on this path without earning their place. Would you believe the next card says self-worth? Self-worth is, you know, what you've been through. You understand, you know the whole story. You've seen it from every perspective. You even have gratitude for all of the guidance that's gained, and all of the wisdom you gain, and all of the understanding you gain. And it's the confidence of knowing who you are, right? Knowing and appreciating and loving and believing in and resting in who you are. See, survivors have arrived to self-worth. But it takes work. Yeah, it takes work. It takes work because after being victimized, there's a lot of healing that has to take place. And it begins with healing yourself. With, in my case, oh my goodness, why did I trust that loser? I mean, what did I see in him? I mean, could I even have gotten any lower? I mean, all of the thoughts that come to you, people. But confirmation, we got to be real with each other. And it's just part of the process, You reach a point where you accept, well, it is what it is, and we went there and we did that, and we learned from that, and never again. And what are we going to do about it to help the future generation? And that keeps you in the vibration of self-worth. You see, that is when you are ready to be united with someone that is in that same vibration for companionship, trust, love, and everything else beautiful that God puts in your paths in union. Right? Major choices, soulmates, kindred spirits, and so forth. My personal value system leads me to love. And that's very important. And please learn from me what I had to learn the hard way, which is people lie. So they'll tell you what you want to hear. That was the confession now. That was the confession I heard after I said I do. I said what I said because if I didn't say what I said, then you wouldn't say I do. So even if they claim to have the same value system with you, pay attention. I never used to be one to test people, but give people enough time to show you their true colors. I still don't subscribe to testing people for my ethical reasons, but allow them enough time to show you their true colors and decide for yourself if you find appreciation for them or not, or they are too much full of boredom and discontent. Funny. Next card is Joker. Joker, because some of the people that approach to be that love, that soulmate, that forever, that false twin, are jokers, right? And so this is why a lot of us don't approve how long it takes, right? To get to know somebody, to get to arrive at a state of assurance when it comes to your decision. But I'm going to tell you what you've heard many times before, which is God knows best. And people, that's my testimony. God knows best. Yes. Yes, people, God knows best. He does. Right? A lot of times you think you know because it's the norm. Because, yeah, we should work things out because that's what people believe in. That's what society says. And sometimes God wants you to just start on over. Take a different path. Never look back. Those are the moments you decide, do I choose to follow God or do I choose to follow her or him or them? Choices. Everybody has choices. You have to reach a point where you fell down and you said, that's the last time I'm falling down.